Hello everyone, my name is Jeff, the Hawaiian Mechanic. Okay, so there's my check engine light. And here on my stereo here, there's also an indicator under car resources. And if you click on that icon right there, it tells you what the error code is, P0420. So I can actually reset it here, but which I did while I was on the road, but it kept popping up. So that tells me that I need to do some mechanicing. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's project is going to be on my Silverado. And general maintenance, today is just going to be plugs and some new wires. The truck just finally hit like 60,000 miles, and I do ride it hard. So it's time for some new plugs. Reason why I'm working on my Silverado today is because yesterday I was heading towards emissions testing here in Arizona in our county, Pinal County. I'm right on the outskirts of the designated area to where, you know, cars or trucks are required to have emissions testing. Further out, like literally a mile down the road, you don't require emissions testing. I'm like, that was kind of a bummer, but that's how they draw these maps for emissions testing. So anyway, on my way to get my truck tested, damn check engine light came on with a code that's P0420. So when they plugged it in, I didn't realize that the check engine light had come on, but the associate there said, hey, your truck is not ready. Yeah, there's a check engine light, you need to get it checked out before we can test it. So what I opted to do was go and do the most common fix on a trouble code just like that, the P0420 trouble code, which would be the O2 sensors. Now I did change my headers a few months back to Flowtech shorty headers, and a lot of the forums and a lot of the members there, or anyone that has changed their headers, have complained that, you know, it throws trouble codes, and you know, that's just, it's common but fixable through, you know, some workarounds. But I decided to just go ahead and change all of the O2 sensors. Now on these Silverados, and most vehicles today have 4 O2 sensors. There are 2 upstream and 2 downstream. The upstream is before the catalytic converter, and the downstream is after the catalytic converter. So I'm thinking that that's the most likely reason why I threw those trouble codes, because I did have to remove those O2 sensors, and you know, I might have damaged them while I was putting them in or taking them out, or maybe the wiring. I mean, it was just myself, so it's for good measure. I'm just changing all of them. So that's the project for today. General maintenance, which is spark plug wires, and then the O2 sensor, and hopefully that takes care of those codes so I can get my emissions testing. With that said, let's take a look and see what components we're using. Okay, so here are the upstream oxygen sensors. I got these over at Napa Auto Parts. These are the Benzo upstream O2 sensors, and then here are the downstream sensors. They're your standard O2 sensors you kind of screw in. The thing is that when people put them in, they forget to add some anti-seize compound on there, and then down the road, if there's ever an issue, they end up breaking the sensor, and it gets stuck in the bung. So for spark plugs, I'm doing these NGK Iridiums. And here are the spark plug wires. Decided to do the red. It looked pretty cool, but really it's more about performance and aesthetics. And then these here are like this is like a muffler wrap material. This is like a heat shield. The original spark plugs actually have this heat or this metal sleeve to diffuse the heat, but these don't have them. And as you'll see, as I take apart or take out the spark plugs on the passenger side, that one of the wires is really close to the header. So I decided, I'm going to do one of these here just to protect it a little bit, so that I don't have any problems. If the spark plug wire is way too close to the header, then that heat will cause misfires and possibly throw codes and all that fun stuff. So this is what I got to work with today, and because my truck is lifted, it's got a body lift and stuff, I'm going to take out the lining here, and I'll have complete access, so I'll be able to work through this with no problem. O2 sensors are within reach as well. I mean, if you take a look here, I mean, that's one right there. Easily accessible, and further back, you can see that. I'm going to zoom in there. There you go. Further back right there is the upstream, and once I remove the aligner, I should be able to access that with no issues. So this installation is, like I always say, pretty straightforward, but sometimes not so straightforward. So that's what forcanicking is all about. We're just gonna hopefully follow these instructions right here, my trusty repair guide, and take my time doing it. Don't like to rush it, because I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. So with that said, let's start forcanicking. Okay, so this is the driver's side, and I'm back here. See, that's pretty close back there. Right there. Now, easily accessible, which is really nice because of the body lift. I wonder what the body lift looks like. These are the 3-inch blocks right there. And on the other side, there's my bike. There it is, 3-inch block. Gives me the extra clearance. But yeah, so I've got both sides off now. To take off the O2 sensor, you need a 7/8 open-ended wrench. Just kind of back it out. Probably what you want to do, if you're just doing some kind of servicing on it, you're pulling out the white pipes, you're upgrading your white pipes, probably need to pull, to take apart the disconnect from the harness here, so it doesn't twist and possibly damage the wiring. So we're going to do that now. We're going to replace all the O2 sensors, and after that we're going to move on to the spark plugs and spark plug wires. just got through installing the O2 sensors. My favorite word or favorite phrase is pretty straightforward. It really is. And you know, a little bit of difficulty underneath the vehicle with weird angles, but I mean, for the most part, simple as just is unscrewing it, screwing it back in. Make sure you tighten it, but not over tighten, and connecting them to the harness. So we're going to work on the spark plugs and the spark plug wires. These are your heavy-duty Summit Racing spark plug wires, and again, I've got these NGK spark plugs, Iridium spark plugs, and these are kind of like the heat shields. They're kind of like the muffler wrap material. These are rated for 1200 degrees. So the stock wires they have this metal protective sleeve to protect it from the heat coming from the headers. Those for sure will not work with these aftermarket plugs, or wires rather. So yeah, I'm gonna go and gap these. Now the spec is 0.037. Between 0.037 and 0.043. You go down to AutoZone or like O'Reilly's and get one of these little dudes right here, and it's always good to gap them ahead of time, and so just you don't have to kind of sit there and go one at a time. You gap them in advance. I'm going to have to put these sleeves on here as well in advance, so that once I connect these to the spark plugs, and it'll be seamless. I don't have to go when there's really no way to put them on. You have to thread them on first before you do anything. So anyway, with that said, let's keep mechanicking. Okay, so that is that. I was able to get the spark plug wires and spark plugs installed. That's normal maintenance, and the O2 sensors, all 4 of them, the upstream and downstream, got those installed as well. So now I just got back from a test drive, and I didn't clear the trouble code at first, so I just took it down the road just to get her warmed up and stuff, and I came back, and then I turned off the codes on my radio. Now it's linked up to the computer, so I can clear those codes. I guess a lot of the Silverados are able to do that when you have a trouble code. You can clear it. So then I took it back out again, went about 3 miles down the back road, and the check engine light popped back on again. So what I did was I drove it back, and I decided, you know, maybe the problem is the performance tune that I have on it. So I have a Diablo i3 Platinum, and what I did was I reverted back to the stock tune, modified just a couple of parameters, which would be the gears, change it to 456, and then the tire size, change it to 37 inch. And then just kind of reset the transmission to normal shifting, not the hard shift that I had on there originally, and just put it back to, you know, just a stock tune. Once I did that, I cleared the trouble codes, went down the road this way for about 3 to 4 miles, and didn't have any issues. I drove it, you know, I didn't go past 60 miles an hour, but I just kind of drove it like I normally would, as if I was going downtown. And the check engine light didn't come on, so that's a good thing. So this project is, again, like I love to say, is pretty straightforward. Luckily, you know, for me it was really easy because, you know, I've got suspension lift and a 3-inch body lift, so I can kind of get in there no problem, as you've seen earlier in the video. I had like a, what is it, like a 3-foot extension, so I didn't have to, like, you know, strain and to get the spark plugs out. But for the normal, you know, normal do-it-yourselfer for a stock vehicle, yeah, you're gonna have to probably, you know, put in a little bit of work, and probably have accessibility issues because everything's kind of close and tight quarters. But anyway, if you guys like the content, go ahead and like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys checking out the channel. I'll have a few more projects coming up. So until then, thanks for tuning in. This is your Hawaiian Brocanic. See you guys next time. Aloha.